Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, which means it's another live with the horror show. I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
Tony, a very special guest.
You're kind of breaking out there, Mr. Kevin.
I'm breaking out. I'm sorry.
Now I hear you. Before
okay.
It was, I guess it was on the other mic.
Possibly. Would you like to introduce our very special guest?
Sure. This has been a show I've been waiting for like a couple of years now. It has to be like probably close to like 2.5 years at this point in time. But it's come out. We have writer, director, actor, the whole list of titles. But Desmon Heck, the director of Spider, it's finally come out. How are you?
Good, very good. Yeah, and I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for.
I just realized you put Jive Turkey in your name.
Oh yeah, Jive Turkey.
Yeah.
I say that all the time.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that seems like an old. Yeah, that seems like an old like almost like from when I was
Dolomite
a kid,
stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dolomite and stuff.
Well, even
I
don't know,
times.
maybe even like a Different Strokes kind of thing, or or
Remember
Good Times.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I still watch Good Times. It'll come up on things, and I'm like,
on?
it's on. I've seen it like here and there. It just comes up on like certain channels. No, Good Times is awesome, and I always point out to my wife, I'm like, see that little girl right there? That's Janet Jackson. And she's
Janet
like, yeah,
Jackson,
you told me last time. Yeah, you told me that last time. My favorite thing from that show is when the father died. That's not my favorite part. But the mom's reaction.
What are you gonna say?
Where she's just like, damn. That was it. I'm like, such a weird reaction. But
I remember when I saw it as a kid, though, it was so sad, man. I felt so.
Oh yeah.
I was like crying and stuff. I was like, I couldn't believe he
died. Yeah.
But he's fine. Yeah. He's still alive.
I think I saw him in some commercials, like not that long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's still kicking it. And then even like with Different Strokes, when you would see like that whole weird episode where like the whole bicycle shop kind of thing, where there was like the whole child molestation episode.
Yeah, that was.
They really went for it back then. They don't do that so much anymore. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. That was that. I remember seeing that. I was a little kid. It creeped me out, man. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it did its job. It did its job. Yeah. It scared us. The whole there was a Punky Brewster episode where Cherry got locked in a refrigerator. I remember all these things.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. Tony's like, I have all these on DVD, but I've never watched them.
I don't have any of those. I know of them, but I've never seen them.
Oh, really? Punky Brewster was awesome. Sergio's in the chat room. He's saying hi, guys. What's up, Sergio? Good to see you again. So how you said, Tony, you've been waiting for this movie for a while. So like, how did this get on your radar?
Just like most, independent stuff, I'll scour like Instagram and stuff like that, and IMDb every once in a while. So I don't remember what social media I saw it on first, but it might have been Instagram.
I think it was Instagram,
And I'm like, okay, this definitely sounds like something definitely up my alley. So then I think I got in contact with Desmond, and then one of the other stories is one of the actresses in this movie I've seen from other movies, from a different genre of movie.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you're talking about the pretend girl, let's just say.
The beautiful Callie Rose. Yeah,
so I was like, okay, this is definitely, and just seeing different people from different like walks of life jump into like horror or whatever, like even people from different genres, it's cool to see them, dip their toes in it. So I was like, okay, this is definitely different. So then I, contacted Desmond, and I think I mentioned at that point in time we have a podcast. We want to help promote it, and it was just like, and it's, there's some independent movies that you hear about it and like a couple months down the road it's there, but then we've had many a times where people make independent movies and it's like a 10-year process, and then it's like, okay, finally it comes out. And we've said it a couple times where it's like Kevin's gone to like what do you want to call it, like Buffalo Dreams theaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, Buffalo Dreams, the film festivals and stuff.
Film festivals. Nice. And it's like, okay, you see a movie and you're like, I can't wait for it to come out, and it's like years and years, and then it finally does come out. So it's like, I saw your post about it, and I'm like, finally.
Yeah. Finally.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how long was this process? Like, how long did this whole thing take?
Yeah, I started writing the movie in it was at the beginning of 2016, and our first shoot day was September of 2016. That was our first shoot day, but wow. I financed the whole movie myself, and I couldn't afford to shoot it. I couldn't afford to shoot it all at one time, so we would shoot like one day out of the month in increments, or just when everyone was in town, we would just like shoot one day out of the month. And we finished, like, our last film day was I think it was either October or November of 2020, like right after the pandemic started. So it took that long just to get everything filmed.
Wow.
But it was like the Desmon Heck film movie on the layaway plan. Like, the movie filmed in 4 years. So like, yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I don't think I'll do that again.
That's crazy. I mean, like, so I told you where I was at in the movie. So I don't know, like, where you're at filming time wise, like, for that, but I didn't notice any, like, sometimes it's an obvious difference. I didn't really notice anything, but now I'm going to be looking out for it. But
it's I think they, like, I know, like, Callie, she got like some tattoos like later on, so if you look closely you'll see tattoos popping up. But I mean, she's like mysterious and like demonic anyway, so it kind of works with it. But, yeah,
I was trying to like look at the tattoos on her back and everything, and I was like, oh, those are cool. Like, those are gigantic. I wonder what those are. But I don't know. So Tony, you know her from other things, huh?
Well, listen, I'm a gentleman, and it just happened. But like I said, it was just like I don't even. It literally was like a week and a half where I was watching one thing, and then that popped up, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's interesting. I'm like, definitely something. I didn't expect that, and it was just, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for this, because when I get excited about movies, it's one of those things where I just can't. I gotta watch it. Like, there's certain movies that I can wait for, but then there's other ones that I'm just like I need to watch it now, kind of deal. But I'm lucky. I patience is a virtue. So it's one of those things where, like I said too, in independent films, there's some that it's just like, I can't wait. Then you get these like bigger budget movies that pump out, and like, you see it in the theater. Well, it used to be in the theaters. It used to be in the theaters for like a couple months, and then it would be like a year before it came out on physical media. Now it's like it's in the theaters, and then like a month later it's already out on physical. Is to try to make the money. So at that point in time, I think that's where I got my patience from, because sometimes I missed the movie in the theater, and then I'd have to wait, how many months before it came out. So I think that's where I got my patience for movies. But yeah, this one, like I said, from the pictures I was seeing, and just from like that, you had, feelers out and social media out, and I'm like, okay, at least, sometimes it's like you see it for one time, and then it disappears in like the mythos or whatever, and then it's like whatever happened in the movie. But at least you had, a steady flow of, okay, this is what's happening, it's coming, I can't wait. So you at least did it right. There's other movies, it's like, oh, I saw these pictures, I can't wait to see it, and I'm like, where'd it go? Like, like I haven't heard of anything in the past like months. Like, where is it? But it was a process, but it came out. So congratulations.
Yeah,
thanks, man. Yeah, I didn't expect it to take that long. Originally, it was supposed to take a year, but it's just so expensive to shoot it. So yeah, it just ended up taking a lot longer. But it's funny how I was telling my friend, it's funny. Like, when we first started shooting, like, Callie, she was just a webcam model, and then Novi Brown, she was just like, a new budding actress. But now, Novi Brown, she's on a Tyler Perry show, and then Callie, she's like a famous adult film star now. So it was cool to see the progression, like, as we were shooting, like, their careers were like rising up as we were shooting. I was like, oh, that was cool. So like, how did you get them in the movie? I was like, well, we started filming like a long time ago. Yeah, I think now if I tried to shoot now, it probably wouldn't have worked out like that. But it just didn't work out like that.
I want to point out that I looked up Callie's IMDb, and it makes me feel very old because she was born 2 years after I graduated from high school. All right. It makes me feel very old.
No, man, don't feel old, man.
It's very old.
No, it's fine, man. No, it's awesome.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
I mean, but, there's a 90-year-old person who hates you right now for saying that. He'd be like, hey.
Well, if they're on the internet, more power to them, right? Although my dad's in his 80s and he goes on the internet all the time, which is terrifying. But yeah, I was actually going to ask how you got them in the movie, but you already answered that question. So with their career progressing, was it something where it was harder to get them available for like the day shoots and stuff like that?
It was because just because Novi, she was filming her TV show, and then Callie, she was in Florida, so it was hard getting everybody in California at the same time. So whenever like the two of them were in town, I was like, okay, let's like try to get some stuff with the two of you together. But there were some days where we had to shoot Novi without Callie, and then we had to shoot Callie without Novi. We just kind of had to make it work in the film. Like there's some scenes where like the interrogation scene, like you think that Callie should be there so you can see both sides, but we didn't have her that day, so it's just Novi in that shot. So we just had to kind of work around their schedules, which was I mean it's just one of those things.
I mean, from what I've seen so far, it's not noticeable, so that's good. Yeah. And so this is streaming right now for free on, how do you pronounce the service? Is it?
Xumo. Yeah, it's XUMO. Yeah. I was saying it's funny because I distributed the movie through Film Hub, and so it's like like when like a company picks the movie up, so it got picked up by Comcast, Xumo, and My Movies Plus, but they don't tell you exactly when the street date is, so you have to like check to see when it's out. And so one day I was just looking, and I was like, oh, it's out. So I was like, okay, so let me like start, putting the movie's out now. So everyone's like, the movie's out? I was like, yeah. So I was as surprised as everyone else was. I was like, okay, guys, the movie's out now. So everyone was like freaking out at the same time. I was like, okay. Because I had no idea. Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
I mean, it's cool, and it's also kind of weird that you don't know as a filmmaker that they don't tell you. But the one thing that I was pointing out with that app is that there are a good amount of ads, but that's even though it takes longer to watch the movie, I'm assuming that works out better for you because it's probably the more ads there is, the more revenue that would come back to you. So that's pretty cool. Because same thing goes with like things like Tubi and stuff like that, where it's I wonder if it works the same way, because I know like if you watch stuff on Tubi like later at night, there's less ads. So maybe that's the case. But then again, too, we don't want to take any money away from Desmond. So watch it at noon, everyone.
That's fine.
So yeah, I mean, there's nudity in this movie, but it's appropriate nudity. Yes. There's one scene where she's just out on the street. How was that? Like, was that real, or was that green screen? Real. Or really? How did that?
Not green screen.
How did that work?
It was. I don't know how much I can say, but it was like very well planned out, and. Really quick, a quick shot, like in and out, and but it was a real shot. Wow. I got the idea because I'm a fan of Madonna, and she did like this book called Sex back in the day. The photographer Stephen Meisel did a shot of her in Florida just hitchhiking nude on the street, and I just thought it was pretty iconic, so that's what inspired that shot. And I was like, Callie, I showed Callie the photo. I was like, can we do this for the movie? She's like, yeah, let's do it. She was like so excited. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, it was but it did happen, man. Yeah, it is authentic. It's not no green screen there. I
was looking at like to see if I saw any edges. I'm like, if this is green screen, you did a really good job. It's good to know it wasn't green screen.
Not green screen.
Did you, totally off subject, but you mentioned Madonna. Did you see her new thing that she did where it's like I don't know if it's like an NFT or something like that, but it's like a little like video clip of, it's like a 3D model of her giving birth, but it's like one of them, it's like she's birthing a tree, and then like things sprout out of it, and then another one is there's like worms and stuff coming out of her, and then they turn into butterflies. It's very weird.
What?
It's all online, and I was just like, all right, this is bizarre, but it's I mean, more power to her. I don't know how old she is now, but more power to her, right?
Yeah, man. She's definitely yeah, there's something about her that she's, she's still, her name is still out there. She definitely made a mark in history. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 90s,
I remember.
The 90s. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. The 90s,
I was going to say, I remember seeing like, I actually went to see Desperately Seeking Susan and what was the other one? Who's That Girl?
Who's That Girl?
I went to see both of them in the theater when I was a kid. Because there was one theater in my area that during the summer they would let kids in for free, like just to get kids off the street, because it was a bad area, just to get kids off the street. They would let kids in. So I was going to the movies all the time. I saw like Weekend at Bernie's, all that stuff in the theater for nothing. So that's cool. But yeah, she's an icon. I mean, no matter how you feel about her music, I mean, she's definitely got some solid stuff. I don't love everything, but you can't take that away from her. She's an icon. So yeah,
it's like a record speaks for itself. Yeah.
Right. But that's cool that you were inspired by that. It actually made me think, remember the old HBO series Real Sex? Anyone remember that?
No. I remember hearing it.
I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
There was one episode where they actually showed a photographer that was in the streets of New York, and he was doing kind of a similar thing. And it was like, all right, take the coat off, and there's like 3 pictures. Don't jump in the van and let's get out of here kind of deal. Yeah. So it made me actually kind of think of that. But so Sergio's asking what your favorite horror movie is, Desmond, and what scared you the most? Like, so because the thing is, sometimes your favorite horror movie may not have scared you, but maybe a movie that scared you more than your favorite horror movie. Like my favorite horror movie doesn't really scare me, but there's other movies that terrify me. But so yeah, what would you say your favorite horror movie is?
My favorite horror movie is The Shining, and the part that scared me the most was even thinking about it. When the wife is at the top she's backing up on the stairs, and then her husband is like slowly creeping up the stairs, and he's like, I'm about to kill you. It just looks like, because they're such good actors, it just looks like a real domestic violence incident. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, this woman is in such trouble. It just gives me chills like every time I watch it. And I've seen the movie a million times, and that part still freaks me out every time.
Yeah, did you ever watch the like behind the scenes documentary of the making of it?
I did.
And stuff?
Yes.
She was really terrorized.
Brutal.
So so she probably was very much scared because that was not a good experience for her.
She walked off or she quit like at one point. Yeah.
Shelley Duvall. That's Shelley Duvall, everyone. Yeah. But she's fantastic in that movie. That's actually amazing. My wallpaper on my computers has for years been the carpet from The Shining.
Awesome. Nice.
So that's that's just a really cool pattern, and I actually want to get a tattoo of like a strip of that carpet. The one where like it's like kind of like a geometric like pattern. It's not the one where he's riding the tricycle or anything like that. Or the big wheel. It's one of the other ones. But either way, it's still awesome. So did that movie scare you the most as well, or is that something?
Yeah, I've seen it. It did. I've seen it so many times now that it doesn't scare me now, because I've seen it like a million times. Mm-hmm. But that one scene still freaks me out. So yeah, but when the first time I saw it, I was like, I couldn't sleep. It's just like that, and what else? Like Alien. When I saw Alien the first time, I couldn't sleep because I thought the thing was gonna jump out of my bed and like attach to my face.
The weird thing is I saw Spaceballs way before I saw Alien, so I never really got the chest bursting like thing from Spaceballs until I saw Alien. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But
that's what that's for.
Yeah, okay. Well, this isn't nearly as funny.
Now, is Shining one of the movies that kind of got you into like wanting to direct, or like was there a movie you watched that you were like, I want to do that? Like that's what I eventually want to get into and do what they do.
Yeah, the Scream series, just because they're so it's just so much fun to watch. Even it's funny. I'm like, the third one was my favorite one. I know everyone hates that one the most, but I really like the third one because like Parker Posey was hilarious in it, man. I just thought, I love how fun those movies were. So I just wanted to make like a movie that's kind of quirky and funny, but a little eerie and off at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the whole '90s genre of horror stuff.
Yeah, that was it's everyone's trying, like not everyone, but there's that like I think that was its heyday for like big budget horror. As far as like slasher stuff, but at the same time too, I think that was still around the time where it was kind of taboo to be a horror movie actor or actress. Like it was like not nearly as accepted in Hollywood if you were a horror movie actor or actress. But thankfully that's changing. It seems like that's
completely different. Yeah, man. the
a lot of cool
money's
series
always there, I
out there and
guess.
stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I see you have a Death Proof and Planet Terror poster in the background.
Oh,
you,
man.
Is it so Tarantino and Rodriguez? Are you a fan of both, or is it or just one of them more than the other?
Tarantino, I've seen Death Proof a million times. I love like the end scene where they start chasing Kurt Russell, man. That part was so freaking hilarious, man. Yeah. I love the dialogue with the Tarantino movies. He's so good with dialogue, so I can just kind of put a movie on, just like listen to them talking all the time while I'm working or something.
Yeah. Actually, one of my favorite movies is one that was written by him, but he didn't make it. Was True Romance. It's like
True Romance.
Yeah, it's like that's the movie I always. And it's funny how many people don't know about True Romance. I mean, I'm sure like most of the people that would listen to this or watch this know what True Romance is, but there's a lot of people I talk to that aren't necessarily into movies as much as I am that have no idea it even exists. And I'm like, you need to check it out. It's awesome. Yeah. Everyone in the world is so in it.
Yeah,
you got Bronson Pinchot. You got Brad Pitt. Yeah,
Gary Oldman was hilarious.
that movie's great. I don't know. And then Robert Rodriguez as well. I mean, going back to even like El Mariachi and
Faculty.
I don't know.
I love the Faculty. I have a Faculty poster in my hallway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Harry Potter and everything too. I just I just printed a snitch. It's a golden snitch. I think that's what it's called.
The golden snitch. Yeah.
Yeah. I just 3D printed one for my. I have to paint it, but it's for my my friend Matt, who is like old high school friend. It's for his daughter. I'm gonna print her a wand as well. I'm printing a Sonic the Hedgehog for his son. I've never met his kids because I'm that good of a friend. They're like already in school, and whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go meet him next week. But yeah, it's funny that Harry Potter came up. It's a great series. I was just talking to someone about that today, and he's like, "Yeah, don't make fun of me." I'm like, "I'm not making fun of you. I agree. It's great."
Hey, yeah, I took one of those online quizzes, and it said I was supposed to go to the Hufflepuff house, but I would have talked the Sorting Hat into putting me in Gryffindor because I was like, because he takes that into consideration. Because I don't want to go to Hufflepuff. I want to be in Gryffindor, man.
That's right.
Like Desmond, you're in Hufflepuff.
So now, go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say when finally watching the movie, I had my own from the title. I had my own little I try not to read anything about it, or I like to go into a movie and not know it. So from the title, I was expecting something totally different. But to tell you the truth, I liked it. Because I was expecting like creature feature stuff like that, spiders running all over the place. But going into it, it was completely I don't remember. I don't think there's any other movie that is, that has something like that. So the plot line itself is something completely different and thrown out of left field that I'm not used to. So I was like, as I was watching the movie, I'm like, okay, this is definitely different. And then throughout, I mentioned to you, there was a lot of one-liners and stuff that got me laughing. And I'm like, oh, you got to take advantage of it. It reminded me The Greasy Strangler has a lot of those quotable lines.
Say, that's nothing like this movie.
Okay, I'm not talking about.
Have you seen The Greasy Strangler, Desmond?
I have not seen that.
It's an experience. It's like, do you know Tim and Eric? Awesome show, great job. You know that show that was on Adult Swim?
No.
Very bizarre, weird humor. It's like if they made a horror movie. Legit, this guy just covers himself in grease and goes around killing people, but he's naked the whole time. And then at the end of the night, when he's done killing people, he just goes through a car wash. The guy who runs the car wash is a blind guy, so he doesn't know. And he's just screaming in the car wash as it's cleaning him off. And he calls everyone bullshit artists. It's a weird movie. I like it a lot, but it's weird. It's nothing like this movie at all.
Okay, what I was getting to was there's not many horror comedies where I can sit there and want to quote lines from kind of deal. Like some of my favorites is Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Tucker and Dale versus Evil and stuff. But I don't have a movie where I'm like, okay, this one I'm going to repeat after. That one is like a Napoleon Dynamite, but a horror movie. One of those things where I can quote the movie, different things. In this movie, there's some of the screen names that are in the online whatever.
Yeah.
The webcam stuff. The screen names are funny. Then I think one of my favorite parts I don't think you've gotten to it yet, Kev. But at one point, like to show some of the, the acting chops of some of, your actresses and stuff. When Callie was talking like the throwback, or like the like when she was talking about the meeting with the parents and stuff, and she was using the different voices. They had me cracking up because she's using different voices for different people. And she's like, your father said like this, and your mom said this, and whatever. And throughout that scene, I'm like, I actually started like laughing. I'm like, that was pretty funny. So,
awesome, man.
Like some of the quotes, I'm like, I can see myself quoting down the line. So that is what I was getting. It's the plot is nothing close to Greasy Strangler, but it's one of those things where it has quotable lines. I guess I could have said it a little bit better, but now you can watch Greasy Strangler. Now you can sit down and watch that. So,
a funny thing happened from that scene you were talking about. Like it was that was Callie's first shoot day that we had with her, and for some reason, all the stuff that we shot that day, we didn't have any audio for. Like all the audio was gone for whatever reason, and we had no idea what happened to it. So that we had to just come up with a way to use, because the scenes were so cool. Like I still didn't want to axe the scenes, so we just had her like dub the lines over for his part, make it a flashback scene. Yeah, but it wasn't originally supposed to be like that.
But that's
actually someone else do the lines and have her lip sync it. So it was like, wow, she's really good.
Yeah,
she's wicked good at changing her voice. Just real quick, Wolfie, who's one of our, he's on from time to time, usually every couple weeks. Yeah, he was mentioning 4 Rooms, which that kind of brings in the whole Madonna thing, and and also too, not to like whatever, but you remember like Madonna's little like friend, the redhead girl, that was in her room. Alicia Witt. That's Alicia Witt.
Yeah, from the Final Destination, not Final Destination, the Urban Legends.
Yeah. She was also she was the little girl in Dune as well, way back in the day, the original Dune. But she was my science teacher in middle school's daughter.
What?
Yeah, so that was the only connection I had to her. But like, she still does. My wife sees her all the time because she does a ton of Hallmark movies and stuff. But whatever.
Nice. That's nice.
She's still working. But yeah, she's from Worcester, Massachusetts. Unfortunately for her, because
remember when she was in? No, that's cool though, man. No, remember she was in The Sopranos. She's in episode of Sopranos. Yeah, I was like, oh, I remember her. Yeah. She's awesome.
I was. It's one of those things. I'm like, she's from Worcester. Meanwhile, she never wants to come back. But that was written by Tarantino and Madonna's in it, so that kind of brings everything together. But
I saw
that was a
movie
good one
because Madonna was in it.
And I want to say I saw it because of Tarantino writing that story. So that's probably the reason I saw it. So yeah, it all comes back around. I haven't seen that movie in forever. And plus, what's his face that played like the bellhop guy?
Yeah. Tim Roth.
Yes.
He was hilarious.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah. I love Tim Roth.
Anyways, so you've directed other things as well. Anything along these lines as far as like, with a twist of horror, or is it just different genres?
Yeah, the first one I did was a comedy. It was called La La, and then the second one it was my first attempt at a horror film. It was called Bloody Snow. The La La came out pretty good. I wasn't very happy with the way Bloody Snow came out because I was trying to do it where it was all. I would set up the situations and have the actors improv the stuff, but it didn't. It just came out like not how I wanted it to come out. But it was my first attempt at a horror movie. Yeah. But So this
is that available? Is that available anywhere if someone wants to check it out?
It was on Amazon Prime for 3 years before the huge Amazon Prime indie filmmaker dump. But then now it's still on there. It plays in Germany. Like I make like $1 every 6 months off that movie now or something.
It'd be funny if they paid you in the currency from that country. I heard it's however many francs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because one of the things that we talk about is I like to see like the progression. So like I would almost want to, even though you're not happy with it, I would still like to check it out and almost compare. Like, okay, you learned this from that, kind of deal.
Check out.
It'd be interesting. I'll try to track it down.
Or if you go on YouTube, type 2 actors moved to Los Angeles, La La, and it pulls up. It has like 16 million views so far.
Oh wow,
that was my first one. Yeah, it's like,
nice.
But it's it's still, it has Ben Crowley in it too, who's in this movie, plays the detective and Spider too.
Oh nice.
Yeah, but that was my my first actual full length feature film.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And you've been acting for a while as well. I had mentioned before we went live that your first credit on IMDb is Walker, Texas Ranger.
Back in the day, man. Yeah, good old Walker.
How did that happen?
That was
in 2000. Were you already in California at that time? Oh, you were in Texas.
No, yeah, I was in Texas. Yeah, I had just graduated from Katie Studio Actors Conservatory, and then I got an agent there. I got an agent there, and then just my agent submitted me for it. And I booked that, and then I booked a movie of the week with Chuck Norris, and then I booked a couple commercials, and I was like, "Ooh, I need to move to Los Angeles, because I'm actually working. This is pretty exciting." Then I moved to Los Angeles, and then all the work stopped. It was just like it's just gone. I was like, "Oh, what happened, man?" I guess I was like a little fish in a big pond as soon as I moved out here.
Yeah,
but then,
that's the one thing that's cool. I mean, I guess for other people, obviously, but there's other areas that seem to be like, I know like Atlanta, is like hopping for a long time, especially with The Walking Dead and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think that may have calmed down a bit, but even now, like so many people from LA are moving to Texas now. So the whole like comedy, like stand-up comedy, like scene for the most part has moved out to Austin.
It's crazy.
All because of Joe Rogan. But anyway,
Joe. I mean, Judge Judy lives out here, so I like to stay close to her. So I'll live out here. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever. Judge Judy's a good show.
Man.
You remember from back when we were younger, People's Court. It's
People's
kind of
Court,
the same deal.
Yeah.
But it seems like I think it's a little bit more staged now than before. People's Court had some interesting cases for sure. But and then they would have that guy out in the hallway interviewing people, and it's just like, "Well, you're a piece of garbage. The door's that way." Like he was just like, he did not care. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna try to do this? Well, maybe you should. You leave." Tony's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm young, guys. Like, I don't know."
Yeah, he's like, "I was in diapers, or if not before diapers."
I'm not that younger than you guys,
I'm
but
just kidding. So we
good.
actually have the trailer for Spider, which is
cool.
streaming on Xumo. Is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, Xumo. Yeah, XUMO. Yeah,
XUMO. Actually, if you look in the description and the notes, you'll find a link that'll lead you right to the movie. So
because it took me a little while to find it too. I was like going through all these channels. I'm like, where is this? I tried to just look up the movie because, like on that thing, it's like, just find this. I looked up the movie. I'm like, it didn't bring me to it. So then I had to click. So it takes a little while. It's like a treasure hunt, but it's a good treasure hunt. So I
tried to make it easier. I just I put the link in my bio for everything. So I was like, just click the link in my bio and it'll take you right there, like right to the play button. Because before I had to I had to search through Xumo black cinema and then Xumo horror movies, but there's like different icons to go through to find it. Yeah.
So is it listed in multiple sections on Xumo?
It's in, if you go under the on-demand section, it's in Xumo horror and thrillers, and then Xumo black cinema. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I was going to say, you don't want to just put it in one because it would fit under multiple categories.
Yeah.
Fit it. I was trying to come up with a joke when I completely lost it. Anyways, I was going to say under the Tony spent too much time watching one of the actresses in this movie section. I'm just saying. Anyways, I'm gonna play the trailer for Spider. It's streaming now for free, so go check it out. Sergio, I think you'd like it. There's boobies in it. So here we go. Here's the trailer for Spider.
You have lots of men.
Oops, me? I wish I had even one.
No, not like that. I see you surrounded by lots of men.
I don't know what you're reading, but that's
no,
not
something very different. I see you surrounded by lots of men. You're hiding something from them.
I just want to be loved for who I truly am. I want to start a family one day. But the men, they just kind of, they don't know. I'm too ugly. I'm too plain. I just, Viola? Viola!
I'm starting to see it.
What? What do you see?
The box you're about to open.
Box.
You took something from me. It's dark in here. I can't see.
And that's the trailer for Spider.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check it out. It's streaming now. It's the only negative thing I have to say about Zumo is that there's a lot of ads, but at the same time, we want to be able to support, independent filmmakers. So the more you watch, more ads you watch, the more he can make, and then the more he can put into his next movie.
And I appreciate you watching, everyone that watches, because it does help. It does make a huge difference, especially for any filmmakers, because it can be hard for any filmmakers to make money off their films. So I always appreciate when different platforms take me on where people just actually support by watching the film, and then I appreciate you guys doing this, because it definitely makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
and I'm humbled.
We grew up in a time, like you said, you worked at Blockbuster. I grew up in a time where that was the thing to do, and like even the mom and pop video stores, and you would find movies that you've never heard of before. It's like, how much are they really making off of this? Like Blockbuster's making all the money, but it's like there's all these people, and like in my mind, it's always like, oh, they make movies, they're millionaires. When I was a kid, and it's like, no, it's not the case. These people are working daytime jobs and all this other stuff, and yeah. So Sergio is actually asking, because he, with the Scream poster behind you, and how you love the Scream movies. Did you see the newest Scream?
I did see the newest Scream. Yeah. As soon as it was at the theater, I did like it. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I don't want to ruin it, but I don't want to give any spoilers away if he hasn't seen it. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Nice. I know this is blasphemous. I've never seen a Scream movie.
What?
I've also never seen a James Bond movie, but whatever.
What? No, man. Oh, it's so good, man.
That being said, I own them all.
Oh, you should watch them.
I just haven't watched them.
Oh, you should have like a party or like a marathon.
You should have a party. It would be the saddest party ever, because no one would show up.
I would show up, man. I would be there. I'd bring popcorn and drinks.
What I'd do is I would get this book. I would do a spell, and I would turn it to a
okay.
And then people would come to my party. Am I right, guys? I don't know. I'm just being dumb.
Spider 2. You like starring
yeah. Sergio's asking if it's on Plex. It's not on Plex that we know of.
Yeah.
It's on Zumo, and Sergio, if you go into the description, like in the notes, it's right there. Actually, after we're done, I'll send you the link in Facebook chat. How about that, Sergio? Then you can watch it, and then you can thank me afterwards.
Thank you, Sergio.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Now, you said with Callie and stuff, you got. How'd you get in contact with them before? Because it sounds like this is like a grassroots project kind of deal where, many a times too, we've heard people, only get weekend. And that's a crazy thing. Like doing podcasts like this, like when you start bringing on different people, like it's crazy how movies are shot differently. But it's like before doing this podcast, I thought a movie's completely different. And especially, I think a lot of the people that watch movies don't realize how, especially independent movies are made, where it's not like, you have all this time to make it. Sometimes you just gotta, especially like passion projects, which this one sounds like it is. It's, you put your blood, sweat, and tears in it, and it's like, I want it. So if we can only get a day here and a day here and a day here, but as long as you stick with it and it finally comes out. But I don't think most people understand that's what goes into it and stuff like that. So like in the beginning, like, did you do everything yourself? Like do casting and stuff? Like how'd that all work out?
Yeah. I did the casting myself. Yeah. I met, I had met like a lot of the like I had like huge webcam addiction back in the day when I was writing it. When I wrote the film, it like I was like not exercising, but it like I just like wanted to incorporate the webcam stuff in there. And then I had met Callie. She was a webcam model at the time, so that's how I met her. And then I had met Novi. Like I had bought like a new camera, and I just wanted to do some test shoots. And so I had met her on Model Mayhem, the website she was modeling. She was like from Germany. She had this German accent, and she speaks fluent German. It's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Like I was like, yeah. But yeah, I did some test shoots with her, and I knew like I wanted to work with both of them. So I just kind of came up with an idea. Like I noticed that Callie, she has some sort of power. Like even before she was doing adult films, she has like this power over. Like she's like a magnet. Like when she walks into a room, like whether you like her or hate her, you're still attracted to her for whatever reason. Like there's some. So I was like, oh, it's like a superpower. So I wanted to make like a movie like kind of based off of that. So, and I wanted to work with Novi too. So I just kind of incorporated both of them there at the same time. And I just asked them like they both read the script and they just were down to do it. They were pretty excited about it. And it was hard to shoot a lot of times just because I was broke. I didn't have very much money. And but everyone that worked on it was like passionate about getting it done, and we all had super fun time when we all come together and just actually like film and make the movie on that one day out of the month. It was like this we're all like having fun, just like making this crazy story come to life. But yeah, it's like not it was just all like me like just finding a lot of talented people and just having them all come together and work on one project, which is yeah.
That's the answer to your question.
I
never would have guessed that Novi's from Germany ever.
Yeah, she's fluent German. She speaks fluent German.
The one thing too is that like when she was saying that she was ugly and stuff in the movie, I'm like, I know it's totally. Yeah. No, even in the movie I thought she was.
Yeah.
And then then I'm looking at her pictures here, I'm like, whoa, like no, for real.
Yeah.
So it must have been like, I don't know. It's weird when someone that looks like that tries to play ugly and it's still a smoke show. But
that's
whatever.
what I like about it. No, I was saying that's what I like about her character. You know, she's like this. She's like this beautiful woman. If she had just like walked up to the guy and said, "Hey, you know, I really like you. I think we should go out and hang out," he'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine." But like in her head, she's all backwards and think she's not beautiful and she has to do all this like weird stuff to make it happen.
It's a low self-esteem thing. It's all
low self-esteem thing. Yeah, man.
Now, how different? Because I've seen Callie now does Twitch and stuff. So Twitch, watching her live, like it seems like her personality in the movie is almost exactly what she is as a person. Because I've said it many a time, she does like voices and stuff. I'm like, I think you got to get more into acting because it's definitely like you seem like you fit right into that role. And she's like, oh, I definitely look for more roles, and that's where I'm like, I can't wait for this movie to come out too to see. But she seems like she fit right into acting. Is Navi like that, like completely different in person, or is she almost like her character in real life? Like how does that work?
Novi, her energy is just her energy is just amazing. If you're like in her presence, it's like you can just feel like the positive energy just bursting from her. It's like even when I first met her, I was like, wow, this woman is she's gonna be going places, and she had just moved here, but it was cool to see like her career flourish, like where she's at now as opposed to like when we started shooting. But I knew like something was gonna happen. Yeah, but she's like, like her character like in the film is like nothing like her at all. Like she's like a completely different person, man. But like it was fun to watch her act.
That's called acting, Tony.
It's called acting.
She's a very good actress.
But I was just saying, like, because sometimes it's like we've had people on where they're like, I just took my character and I turned it up a notch, like it turned it a little bit different as opposed to like, okay, I'm completely like you look at like Kane Hodder. And he's completely different as a person to an act. But I'm just saying, sometimes it's like I didn't really have to do much for this.
You're telling me Kane Hodder doesn't really go around killing people?
Come on. He might. But I'm just saying, it's like one of those things where it's like sometimes it's like, okay, this role fit me perfectly. I just have to tweak my personality a tad, as opposed to, okay, this is one thing that like I was just.
I can understand. I'm just busting your balls. Not a big deal. I'm just messing with you. It's fun and easy to do, so that's why I'm doing it.
But I think one of the things that might help you too is you said you got your two main actresses in the beginning of their career. Now a couple of years later, now their careers, so it might actually help you with the promotion and stuff. It's like now they both got a following, and it's like, oh, check out the movie that I first started with. So I think that might actually help in your, like you said.
That's probably why you're getting all these views from Germany, by the way. It's because Novi's from Germany, so maybe that's why.
There you go, man. Yeah, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, no.
I'm just. Was she like a successful actress out in Germany too, or?
No, it was like when she booked Sisters, that Tyler Perry show Sisters. That's when her career shut up. Like they're on season 5 now. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just cool to see talented people. Like I was saying before, we like to see the progression. So it's cool to see that, and obviously these people got talent. So Tony, next time you see what was her name?
Callie.
Callie. You should use some of the screen names from the movie. Be like, you should do that and see if she catches on. I'm just saying, it'd be fun.
But the other thing I want to know is, did you do any crowdfunding? Because that's the one thing I didn't notice when I first was going through IMDb. I'm like, not IMDb, but Instagram when I first was going. Like, you did this, straight out of pocket and stuff like that. And
I've been broke for the past 5 years. I was saying, it was at one point I was like, have you ever heard of a payday loan before?
What was it?
A payday loan? Have you heard of that before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. At one point I had 4 payday loans out at this time to get one shoot day in. So whenever I got paid from my day job, I had to just pay the payday loan back and take a loan out again. So I was stuck in this crazy thing, and I was getting skinny because I wasn't eating very much, and I was I was looking very haggardly, but I was like, oh, we're shooting though, man. I was like, we gotta get the shoot day in. That was super exciting just to get the shoot day in. But yeah, it was rough, man. But
those payday loans are no joke. They're no joke,
man.
The interest rate on those things are ridiculous. I work for a federal credit union. I know all about it. Believe me. It's the highest interest rate. So there was a commercial for some Indian reservation in this area that was doing it, and the interest rate was over 100%.
Yeah,
it was 120 something percent. It's this is crazy. No one's gonna ever pay this stuff back. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good if you absolutely needed to survive, then it's a good option. But it's rough. Hopefully you never do that again.
Never again, man.
Yeah, the crowdfunding thing might be this is proof that you know what you're doing too. So you could use this as an example of hey, help me fund this. You can see what I've done, kind of deal. And but that again too, we've also heard that a lot of the crowdfunding is kind of almost a full-time job in itself. You know?
I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to do it. I felt like it would be hard just asking people for money because I didn't know how the movie was gonna turn out or anything. So I was a bit I just didn't want to ask. I'm just gonna pay for it myself and shoot in increments. But I know it's working for some people, but
even some of the people that have been in the business, they still use crowdfunding because at that point in time too, with an Indiegogo, you can always offer eventually, will this ever get a physical copy for my own?
Oh, a DVD. Oh yeah, if it does, man, I'll send you a free one.
Don't even have to. I support. No. I'll support many things, but I'm saying one of those Indiegogo campaigns, you can offer a free, signed photo or because in Indiegogo they have ranks and stuff $25 to get you a DVD and $30 to get you a signed DVD and stuff like that. Because a lot, I think horror movie. I mean, I'm sure different genres have this, but the one thing I know is horror fans are very loyal. Sometimes loyal too much to a T. Sometimes they take they take it too far, but they're very loyal. So if awesome. I know Kevin and I, once we find people we like, we'll follow their career and stuff. And it's always if you put a crowdfunding thing, I know I will support. So it's one of those things where you might find it weird to do a crowdfunding thing, but people enjoy that. Like, especially sometimes too, it's like you put a bigger dollar amount, and some people allow, you know, to be in the background or like
even just a producer credit. Like there's some people that I know, like they have a bunch of producer credits and they've never been on a set. Like they just they just like, oh, for this many hundreds of dollars I can be listed as a producer in this movie. So they're like, all right, I'll do that and I'll be a producer. So I mean that's just an option, you know, but it is a lot of work. But so are you gonna I mean, you know, like you know, this is like horror adjacent, really. It's not like a strict horror movie. There's a lot of character development and stuff like that in it. So are you going to continue on this route, or do you have some other ideas in the works that maybe a different genre, or what do you got?
The next one I'm working on is the same genre. Yeah, it's just a different story. Like my take on like the darker side of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. I've been working on the second draft of the script right now. Just saving up to shoot it.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. But it's fun. I like creepy, weird stuff. So yeah, it's just fun shooting it. Yeah.
Yeah, creepy and weird. That's why you're on this show.
Creepy and weird, man. That's right.
Creepy and weird. Yeah, or the other way around. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm both. I'm a little bit of both. Yeah. But it's no, that's great, and definitely, you know, 'cause we are getting close to the point where we're going to be wrapping up, but definitely keep us posted on anything you have coming up, and you know, and if there's like Tony said, if there's physical copy coming out, you know, I'll collect, so it's something that we would definitely want to know about, and we can even, you know, push it for you as far as, you know, hey, go check this out, you know.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then that's another thing with the Indiegogo is sometimes, like Tony was saying, like they'll do like a limited release, even like a numbered release. People would be all over that.
Yeah, that's the collector in me. Is if you put a number on something, it's like
okay.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna get the lowest number I can.
Exactly. It's like out of 500, it's like I get it. I'm like 500 to 5. Well, actually, 500 to 500 is an interesting number too.
Yeah.
But it's like 1 or 500. Anything other than that, it's like okay. But for collectors, it's one of those like numbers definitely hit, and then like special editions are also the like parts of my collection that I like showing off the most. But
and if you check out Tony's TikTok, he's constantly pointing out his movies and stuff, and he's in my feed, and I'm just like, okay, I get it. You have this Blu-ray, I get it, and I'm friends with you, so you know, whatever. No, but
for the friends like you, they're people that love it. So
awesome.
I don't know what that
well,
means.
you just said it. You just said watching it makes that, you know.
No. I'm just
get annoyed with it.
I'm just joking around.
I'm
jealous. I'm just jealous. Is what it is.
Like and
Sergio wanted to point out he wasn't talking about this movie being on Plex. He's talking about Scream being on Plex. So it's available to rent, like, in
I'm sure
everywhere. Yeah, everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Plex is great. I use Plex all the time, Sergio. It's my go-to because my whole library's on there. You know, it's pretty sick. I have like thousands of movies, and I rip them all and throw them on my Plex server, and then I just pull the screen down. I was watching this movie on like 100-inch screen, so big screen release right there. Yeah, that's another thing too. Did you get to have any kind of premiere or anything for this, or no?
No premiere. Yeah,
that stinks.
Yeah.
And no, it'd be cool. I mean, I mean, for the people that worked on it for so long, you know, you'd figure it'd be cool to, like, you know, get together and be like, here we go, guys. Here's what we made. But now they can see it on Zumo. I always feel like I'm saying the word wrong because of the X. I don't know, whatever. So where can people follow you to find out what's going on with you next?
I just my name Desmon Heck, Desmon, and then Heck, like what the heck. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. What's there? Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.
And you have stuff on YouTube as well. That's where I got the trailer from. Do you have anything,
YouTube,
like any shorts or anything up on that as well, or is it just stuff?
or just like my first film is on YouTube. Yeah, my YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
You just type Two Actors Moved to Los Angeles. It pulls up.
Yeah. And then did I see something like 10 hours of Shia LaBeouf watching his own movies or something like that?
10 hours. Yeah, that was I just posted that. That was it was like this was it like an art piece he did like a few years ago? Yeah, where he just like watched all his movies and in like
filmed himself.
Real time. Yeah, or he had like a camera there, and then just like film himself watching all his movies. Like
that's interesting.
At the same, like he didn't leave the theater for like over a day. Yeah,
wow,
I thought it was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was just like, did you really edit a movie? Edit 10 hours of video? That's what I was thinking. Angel, you're a little bit late. We're wrapping up.
Angel?
What up, Angel? He comes on quite a bit. He's a third mic quite a bit. He's the man. Just like Sergio's the man, he's the man as well. One
thing I had in the back of my mind, but I didn't ask. Yeah. Now, doing it this way, I'm guessing you learned a lot of stuff. I mean, this is what, your second full length, or
third? Yeah.
So from this one, like, I'm guessing you learned a whole bunch of different things that you learned before, like going into your next project.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to do it completely different, or are you going to?
There's a lot
try
of things
to plan it out over the next 5 years, or are you going to try to do it all in like a
that was the last time I'm doing that, man. it was just you don't realize how hard it is to get everybody together on one day, because everyone has other things going on, which is like super hard, especially that over a long period of time to commit to like one film. Just because people's situations change, like I had some actors move to different states and stuff, or people completely change their looks and things. So it's like hard working around all that stuff. So I was like, this is the last time I'm doing a movie in increments like that. I'm just going to shoot all at one time. But like,
There's one character who's just progressively going balder during the movie.
Yeah. Like, hey, whatever.
I'd be that guy. Fat Monster Matt, who's we played his group's video last week. He's the man as well. There's all these people in the chat room that are the man. But yeah, nice. He's awesome. He sent me some stuff. I sent him some stuff. It's awesome. Yeah. So nice. Angel's saying that he likes what he sees so far on the Instagram page. Gonna try and find the film. It's on Zumo.
Zumo.
The link is in the description.
Just click the link in the description.
Yeah, it's right there.
Appreciate it.
So Tony, where can people find you?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You'll find I gotta do a little bit more. I haven't really been using my YouTube, but Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which I do not work. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And, of course, here on the Wicked Horror Show every Tuesday, whether we have an awesome guest like Desmond or just horror movie talking for about an hour. So check us out. I'd say definitely check us out more on the video side, because you miss out on trailers and stuff like that. I know we get a lot of audio listeners, but you could do both. Yeah. And then, of course, check out the Wicked Horror Show Instagram, where you can find out future guests or guests that we had on before. Kevin puts these awesome little thumbnails out. So check our Instagram out. And Kevin.
Yeah. And I do have to say, like, I'm very proud of Tony with his TikTok. He's got quite a following on there, so I'm happy for him. Nice. And I used to say that whenever he was said that, before I realized how many people he actually had people following him, he used to say that he would make a clap all the time on his TikTok. But not anymore. He just make a clap, just staring at the camera, just making a clap. But anyways, you can find me A-Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing this show here, which is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network, by the way. So the audio and the video is part of the network. I'm also part of Black and White Fright, which is all about classic horror movies, and a new show called Violence Buffet, which we just try to scare one of my friends who's very, very new to horror movies. And it's pretty easy. So it's a good time. So thanks for watching / listening, everyone. And go check out Spider on Zumo. Right? All right, cool. Bye, everyone.